Life is fleeting. You know how they say your life flashes before your eyes when you have a near-death experience? Well, mine didn't. Or maybe it did. I couldn't remember because I died. Although I'm not certain I actually died. It's all so confusing. Sorry, I got caught up with whether I died or not. So the last thing I do remember was coming to, gasping desperately for air. I was soaked and lying in a wooden box or something. Only the wooden box was a poorly made coffin. It's late afternoon or early evening, depending on what kind of person you are. The lid was on the ground next to the coffin. As I finally caught my breath and my vision cleared, I saw her. She stood with her arms patiently crossed. She had wild blonde hair, but I saw dark roots. There was a feather of some kind braided into a lock of hair on the left side. Her pale jade eyes were accentuated with heavy mascara and dark eyeshadow. Her pale complexion gave her skin a porcelain-like effect. Her cheeks were rosy and her lips were ruby red. She wore a knitted shawl around her shoulders. On her arms and wrists were many bracelets and bangles. She had an assortment of rings on all her fingers except for the 4 fingers. A simple white spaghetti strap sundress showed off her curves, whereas knee-high brown boots covered the rest of her. She smiled and asked, "Well, are you gonna lie there all day or what?" Her Southern belle accent made me weak in the knees. She offered a hand and leaned down. I accepted her help as I struggled to stand. She offered a warm and genuine smile. I leaned onto her since my legs felt like wet noodles. To my surprise, she handled my weight rather well. She was stronger than I thought. How did I end up here?" I asked with a scratchy throat. It was drier than a drought in a desert. "Don't know. I was gathering herbs and I found you on the shore," she answered plainly. "Damn, my head hurts," I commented aloud. "Well, come on back with me to my place. I got something that'll fix that. Besides, you don't want to wander around in the swamp at night," she suggested confidently. I didn't argue with her on account of me not having the energy to do so. But I was honestly a bit worried that she didn't ask how I came to be in that box. She seemed completely carefree about it. Come to think of it, I don't know how or why I was in the box. Going with her seemed to be my best option for the time being. There were an awful lot of things I couldn't remember, and it made my head hurt even more when I tried to recall. For starters, I couldn't even remember my own name. Then my mind began racing as I tried to think of where I was or if I had any family. The uncertainty and complete obliviousness left a void in me. It rendered me totally helpless and afraid. The more I thought, the more my head hurt. I couldn't help but ponder about who I was though. Even the tiniest detail would suffice. Before she led me into the tree line, I took one last glance back at the box I woke up in. It sent shivers down my spine. Just how long had I been in there? Hours? Days? Somehow I knew I would end up discovering the answers. Something told me I wouldn't like it,